Hold on. It's trying now. Okay. Go live button on Facebook and Instagram. Okay. Come on, Instagram. There we go. Instagram's working. Yeah. Substack's working. And Facebook is working. Everything's working. I'm streaming onto all three platforms. Bam. Now, let me see if you can hear me. Man, I need to stop doing shiny. Hold on just a second, because I gotta check something real quick. I remember late nights, busy hallways, driving me psycho. The money wouldn't come fast enough. We was back and forth downstream. Moving weight was like light bulbs. The rest of y'all stuck in the rut. Niggas double cross and talk behind your back. That's where the knife go. Right. I guess they wasn't fucking with us. Some niggas get the luck of the draw. For others, life is a dice roll. And waiting on fate for us. When you young, you realize that you can't trust them out with a pipe go. They probably couldn't love you enough. Dance music on my neck. Where's your water bottle? Diamonds, the light show. Looking like the sun in the glow. If you reading up with us, then your credit score gotta be FICO. I'm talking 850 a bus. See, you really will power when you make niggas balance on tight ropes. They know they not much for the blood. Have my man shoot your block. I'ma send his ass far as the flight go. And when we talk ducking the judge. I'm playing this song on purpose. Any minute reboot night show. You know that shit. If you reading up with us, then your credit score gotta be. Okay. Your man was in there singing for his life. They was calling it. After finish answering this time back, back like it's little way whispering slow. The last words you hear in the truth. You don't know what I know. You see what I saw. No, been with a petty so strong you can one night close. Do the turn. Heard the fans turn the crib inside. After roof on you niggas let them inside out. Fresh Prince Jack walk inside. Okay, the reason I'm playing that song to open this with is because if anybody other than the newbies has been following me on social media, you would know that that's the reoccurring song I've had playing in all of my lovely reels. And those things were being done prior to where we're at right now. So I'm gonna get this out of my system. Oh, I look like hella like pale on Facebook. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Anyway, I am watching the comments there if anything happens. I don't think anything gonna happen. Cause all my friends are at work or they doing other stuff like life, and it don't include this right here. All right. And I swear I wasn't gonna do this year, but this is gonna be my last post under the pesky dyslexia panel, or pesky dyslexia parent handle, I should say. I ain't doing this shit no more. After this, we done. Done. Y'all can go back to your life. I'll go back to my life. I'll go back to not using this, and I'll go back to not advocating for people who don't understand that I'm advocating for every kid in a school district. So there's that. That's where I'm at right now. So here's the thing. I was actually going to participate in this little fuckery and this little, this little project that's going on right now. I was going to help folks, but just as I had to learn on my own and I had to figure this out on my own, and just how I had to, oh, I don't know, learn the hard way and go, oh shit, they were right. I'm gonna have to put those rules back into place. So let me put this landscape up there because I'm gonna do this for a group of people who are ignored and who are always forgotten about. And right now, the energy all over social media is pro that person being the superintendent for the district full time. Let me explain to you why. Ain't no way in hell you're gonna get a lot of us to co-sign on that. Okay, so this is for my mamas. This is for all of my parents. Okay, you hear me? Same for you, from all of my parents. But you need to listen. You need to listen. because you're fucking up. You're fucking up already. You're fucking up already. You got your head, you got stuff going on in your head, and you think that you're doing the right thing. No, no, you're not. You're not. You're not doing the right thing. You're not doing it the right way. You're not listening. You're not listening. All you're hearing is you. All you're hearing is that internal dialogue you have. You're not listening to everybody else. So, let me just take you down the path of parents who have lived experiences with their children inside of special education who do not appear on the surface to have any needs that need to be met because they have invisible disabilities. October, for all the newbies, October is Dyslexia Awareness Month, which I hate to my fucking core. But I guess I need to say it because a whole bunch of people are out here catching amnesia and or not wanting to understand the scope of what they're saying to parents right now. I'm gonna keep it on Georgia right now. I could go further, I could go to other places, but I'm gonna keep it local. Because it's happening local. It's happening in my backyard. It's happening in the place that, like, it should not be happening in, right? It's happening in the place that, now, I've been on their necks for a long time for a reason. Hold on, watch this. I'm gonna get my girls. And then I'm gonna get this one. Because you know what? I haven't done the dyslexic community any favors. I haven't done any of my girls any favors, or any of the people across the country any favors by bobbing and weaving to get out of this stuff. So, I'm gonna tag my girls in the comments and see if they show up. They should. They should. They always do. They're like my ride or die, so they'll show up. So here, let me put the scope of this out there. So all you new parents who out here trying to fight this school district, let me just go ahead and explain something to you and what you're doing. You have a very coordinated effort, and you have a very hyper focused view on what you think this landscape needs to look like or what we need to be doing and like who we need to be nominating to run the district and all that. And you want to put your backing behind people? Nah, see. Okay, I look fine. I was just making sure. Anyway, you guys are doing this. You're doing it. You're okay. District and all so that. You're doing Educate Dunwoody. I'm gonna say it, and I know that the people running the page are not of the same ilk of Educate Dunwoody, but I'm gonna say it out loud. Y'all acting like Educate Dunwoody already. Shit. Y'all over here got y'all's little page running. Y'all got all the media darlings. Y'all got all these receipts you dropping. Shit. You ain't dropping nothing we don't have. The only thing y'all are dropping is the stuff that's taking place at your school. Again, you're making it about you and your kids. So, imagine how I feel this morning looking at and seeing one of my mamas, right? One of my mamas. Rachel? Yeah, she's one of mine. Rachel is somebody I went to hell and back for. And I will continue to do that until her children graduate. Just as I've done and I do with all of my kids in that district. So miss me with, oh, well, we've never experienced that. Oh, you need to let us know what you're, no, no. These parents don't owe you shit. They don't owe you an explanation for shit. They don't gotta tell you anything because you know why? They've been through it. They've lived it. It's their lived experience. You doing what you're doing is diminishing everything else that's going on in the district. That's been going on in the district. Why the hell do you think I filed a systemic complaint? It wasn't because of y'all. It must be nice to have a neurotypical child who has no needs within the special education arena or the 504 arena. Because once again, we have a movement of parents in DeKalb County, y'all, who are out here wilding out, trying to drop receipts and trying to be the gotcha, actively giving parents who have been out here doing this for years the middle finger by saying, well, that's not our experience with him. We think he should be the super. Are you fucking kidding? Let me just go ahead and run down the list of for you, okay? He was a principal, a regional superintendent, only because he got that only because I got I got the other ones in trouble, okay? So, do you know how many people that I've gotten actively fired from this cluster of schools where that man came from? Do you know how many that I had fired? Do you know why I had them fired? Do you know what they were doing to kids in that cluster? Do you know what they are doing right now to kids in that cluster? No, you don't. Because you're only thinking about you and your kids. You're only thinking about you and yours. And because you and yours aren't in the trenches of the hellscape known as IEP in DeKalb County, it doesn't matter. Y'all up in my messages diminishing me. Dismissing actual receipts I just sent. You're dismissing parents that have been here and doing this a hell of a lot longer than y'all. Y'all only in elementary school. Y'all ain't even scraped the surface. So if you're going to do what you're doing, you need to understand people have been out here doing this for a lot longer than y'all. You wet behind the ears and you don't know what you're doing. So stop making it about your kids. Don't make it just about the neurotypical kids. Don't be educated, dumb one. Don't be nice white parents. You can be black and be nice white parents at the same fucking time, which is what I'm motherfucking watching. So stop. Knock it off. It's ugly. And it's gross. And it's an ableist bullshit narrative that we in DeKalb County have had to endure forever, which is why we got Devon Horton, Rudy Crew, all the piss poor people that we've had running this district came to this district because of nice white parents thinking about their fucking neurotypical kids and not wondering about the other people in the district who don't have your life or your money. We don't have the same privilege. We don't got that same privilege. If we have a child with an invisible disability, we are literally discarded of. We are retaliated against. Our children are made into collateral damage. Hell, I got kids being made collateral damage right now because I did something as stupid as trying to file a systemic. Well, I mean, I filed it, but I was trying to protect the kids. And now these kids are catching collateral damage because I did it anonymously as a way to get these folks out. Doesn't matter. DeKalb's gonna DeKalb. So, as far as you wanting to talk to one of my mamas, or two of my mamas, and wanting to get their first-hand experience, go ahead and come through me. Because I promise you, if you get it from them, you're gonna get your ass handed to you. I'm being nice. This is a PSA for y'all. Don't do that. Look, I'm not like everybody in this district knows me due to one thing and two things mainly, but one main thing. My son is dyslexic. He's 16 years old and he learned to read in public school because his principal convinced the PTO to fund every single teacher being trained in Orton Gillingham and how to implement it. And every single special ed staff member we had in that school continued to go until they became certified. My son learned to read in public school because he received the services every single day, 5 days a week, one time. Guess why? Tutoring outside of the school day doesn't work as effectively as it does inside the school during the day. So my son learned to read. So you're welcome. Because the legislation that came from that would be SB 48, which was the mandatory dyslexia screening bill. And then fast forward to HB 538, the Georgia Early Literacy Act, HB 307, the Georgia Say Dyslexia bill, and furthermore, rolling into the Early Literacy Act, and then also mandating how you must work with a child who has been diagnosed with dyslexia. All right, then SB 93. Thank you, Rashawn Kemp. Now, I didn't have anything to do with that. I knew that shit would pass. Rashawn Kemp's a former superintendent. Oh, I'm gonna catch y'all and you clutching your pearls. He's a gay black man, and he's a former superintendent, and he's a senator, and he passed the most meaningful piece of legislation in this state for children in this state. Okay? Okay, so miss me. Miss me with, we don't know. We need you to tell us. When I posted the systemic complaint on my Facebook page that y'all were looking at, do you understand the scope of that? Do you know what that means? I'm gonna tell you what it means. Okay, so let me just go ahead and save me some brain cells so I don't gotta fucking repeat this shit again. Um, y'all got me cussing and all kind of stuff because the way you talked to one of my fucking mamas. That was probably the dumbest thing you could have ever done. Don't ever talk to parents that way. Not in this district. Alright, a systemic complaint is filed on behalf of several children, if not all children, within the district when, oh, I don't know, they're doing something like denying FAPE to children, which I know neurotypical parents aren't aware what FAPE is. It's called free appropriate or free access to public education, federal legislation, IDEA, ring a bell? No? Okay, cool. Then there's also failure to implement an IEP. Oh, then there's LRE, which is least restrictive environment. These things are all embedded into a contract between the parents and the district in the state of Georgia. It is a legal binding contract with the federal government that rolls up underneath IDEA. Is this going over your head? Is this too much? Do I need to water it down a little bit? Let me go ahead and water it down for you, okay? So here you go. An IEP is a. This is how my mentor and advocate put it to me years and years ago. That IEP is like your child's living will. In the event something happens to mom and dad, a teacher needs to be able to pick up that IEP and know what to do with that child without mom and dad there to advocate for the child. That's what an IEP is. Now, here's the twist. The boy that you're out here advocating for to be the superintendent, he's over the gifted magnet program, or was. Now the irony, his tenure in special ed, no, none. And the person that replaced him, who is the acting, yeah, I got her that job. So the reason you've got these people is because the cabinet was stacked with so many people that were corrupt. They had to choose somebody that he didn't hire. And so they chose the very guy I had filed a systemic complaint against that morning, whom did not make the board aware he had just been slapped with a systemic complaint by the Georgia DOE. Yeah. I filed it at 7:30 in the morning. By 11 a.m., the Georgia DOE notified him, as well as myself, that they were in receipt of my complaint. I'm a little in my feels because I was really rooting for you guys. I was rooting for you guys. Hold on. Hold on. Oh. Okay. Ashley's watching and she's taking care of Adrian. So let me just explain this. So in October, I usually participate in this fucked up ritual of celebrating dyslexics because, my kid's dyslexic. I come from a family full of dyslexics. My friends that are no longer here, yeah, they were dyslexic. They were shoved into the pipeline to prison by proxy of being illiterate by Gwinnett County and Wilbanks and everybody else. Yeah, that's what I do. Um, What I don't do is sit back and let people dismiss others' lived experiences. And that's what happened this morning. You were dismissing my dear friend and her lived experience. Let me tell you the hell she had to endure. 2 years of fighting. I spent 2 years fighting the district to do right by her child. One of two that we had to fight for. I spent 2 years doing that because they fully intended on letting this child graduate without knowing how to read and without having the appropriate support in place. That's what DeKalb County does. DeKalb County likes to do stuff like push you to the brink of the edge to make you sue them because it's easier for you to sue them and then pay you off and make you go away than do their fucking job. So, I put up a screenshot, not even a screenshot. I've been saying this. So, DeKalb County is the third highest funded district in the state per the FTE allotment, QBE allotment. If you don't know where to find those, shit out of luck because I ain't telling you. All right, so let me go and carry on with it. Okay, so we have 120 million allocated just to kids in special ed, not your neurotypical babies, our babies. You know why? Our babies cost more to work with. Your kids don't get half of that. Our kids are the ones that bring the money into the school district. So miss me with that bullshit too. Our babies bring in a lot of money, $120 million just for our children. Now, you want to explain to me why 68% of kids that graduated with that piss poor 85% graduation rate were functionally illiterate? I can tell you. Let me tell you why. Because, again, it's easier to just pass them through. You know why we have 44 schools on that fucking list? I do. It's your boy Norman. Go ask him. Because legislation that I worked on, particularly as it pertains to just my son, SB 48, that started in DeKalb County via Fran Miller. My son was attached to that because he needed a story. He needed a event to attach to his district. So that was my son, who was in a DeKalb County public school at the time. I submitted my son's story, and Fran used that, and then the dyslexia task force was formed, and then and my memories and a lot of other moms' memories who have been doing this for a hell of a lot longer than y'all. 7 years ago, we were, doing things at the underneath the gold dome, like begging, literally begging, for them to recognize our children with invisible disabilities that affects 1 in 5 children. My board speech in 2019, maybe some of you missed that part where I was speaking on behalf of those that could not speak. I was speaking on behalf of moms that had been put on gag orders. I was speaking on behalf of staff who had been retaliated against because they had actively tried to protect my son from being, graced with some ish. What took place in your little cluster, I understand, but I also know where your cluster is. Smoke, that area. Now, hear me out. This is coming from somebody born and raised in Georgia. I mean, shit, I got the Dirty South tattoos to prove it. Smoke Rise. Let me tell you how expensive the houses are out there. Shit, that may as well that's Dunwoody 2.0 out there. But let me tell you something y'all don't know. Trenton Arnold. Where'd he go? Why did he go missing? Why did he get put on a side panel? Well, I had to get involved over at your schools in your cluster because they were allowing one of my friend's children who's on the spectrum to elope. They weren't even paying attention to him. He didn't have a teacher. He didn't have his parapro. He didn't have anybody with him as his IEP stated he should have. I already know about your cluster because I've had to deal with Arnold personally due to that districting. So the mama that you diminished earlier today, when you said, please show us evidence, let us know your stories, but then you got up in you got up in my messages. You got up in my DM or my yeah. That what you said in there. Y'all brought this on yourself. What you said in there proved exactly what I knew was gonna happen. I don't lend my voice to that shit. I don't lend my voice. I don't put myself at risk or put the effort in for folks that do exactly what you just fucking did. You just dismissed a whole bunch of people and you don't give a shit. Oh, I mean, I get that you're upset or you're worried, we just don't know these things and we're just trying to vet them. Oh, okay. All right. You want to vet them? Do you? Do you want to take that route? Because y'all were on the same panels. You were on the superintendent advisory panel with the same mom you just asked to talk it out with or have her explain her lived experiences to you. No. Hard no. See, I'm guessing you're of the ilk of thinking that children learn to read by osmosis or that they learn to read by somebody reading to them because that's what you're told. Every parent is told, read to them at home. Did you read to your child when they were little? All of those things has that rung a bell yet? Because I know damn well that stuff comes out their mouth out the gate in DeKalb County. So, children don't learn to read by being read to. All that does is maybe assist with some vocabulary and give them some new words to listen to and expand things. I'm not going to go into the fucking words because it's obviously above y'all's head and I ain't even going to go into that shit. It's not worth it. I'm not gonna explain I'm not gonna explain digraphs, I'm not gonna explain phonemes, phonics, I'm not gonna explain any of that shit because y'all don't give a fuck. So yeah, kids don't learn to read by that. And they damn sure don't learn to read by these cute little book drives where people like get books in hands, and that don't teach a kid to read either. You don't wake up one day just knowing how to read. You have to be taught to read, just like you have to be taught to ride a bike. It's that easy, that simple. You have to be taught to ride a bike, taught to read. Oh, and let me blow your mind. You got to be taught to write as well. Comprehension. The bar is so low in the state of Georgia, you can graduate writing a 5 sentence essay or a 5 paragraph essay. That's where they aim. That's how low it is in the state of Georgia, the expectations. Do you know where we rank in this country as it pertains to literacy and math? I do. Do you know why I don't give a shit about people in DeKalb County, namely the people that want to start raising hell after the hard work has already been done? Because of this. Your fucking ableism and you dismiss the shit out of everybody that's been doing this work for years. I wanted to be the PTA mom. I wanted to sit on the PTO just like y'all, but I couldn't because my son was diagnosed with dyslexia in pre-K. So I had to start fighting in kindergarten. I became that mom in kindergarten. I was already neck deep with administrators by first grade. I had the whole damn district up inside my emails talking shit about me. I had to file police reports. By second grade, I was filing police reports against teachers. So, yeah, I didn't get to do the PTA thing like I wanted to. I'm glad y'all do. I didn't, though. A lot of us didn't get to be a part of the PTA. A lot of us didn't get to bring cookies to the school. A lot of us didn't get to participate in all those things because, we were too busy over here spiraling and trying not to lose our fucking minds because our children were being denied their education. We had to fight tooth and nail to make sure our children were taught how to fucking read because they are dyslexic. And by the way, Just so you know, it's statistically impossible for you to not have anybody in your family who is not also dyslexic. It's hereditary. That's how it works. Sometimes you have one kid that's dyslexic, then sometimes you have all three of the kids dyslexic. And there's always different variations of the dyslexia. It's surface, mild, medium, or fuck shit. That's what you get. My daughter is definitely on the surface level. My son was in the mild level. But come hell or high water, my son learned to read inside public school. I made sure that shit happened. And I made sure that I continued advocating for children after I left that venue. I went back. I always go back into the burning building, which is something I can say without a shadow of a doubt Educate Dunwoody did not fucking do. I got those women their fucking IEPs. They used that money that I got them and they put their kids in private school immediately. So you're doing 2.0, literally. I've already been there, done it. Why do you think I said what I said the other day when I said I got attached to Educate Dunwoody and not wanting to? Because I didn't want anything to do with that. Talk about nice white parent syndrome. Jesus Christ, they're the blueprint. German immersion programs? Give me a fucking break. Who the fuck needs that? Um, it's just really annoying that it's like I said, it's really annoying. There we go. So so you catching the hell now from two of my moms. You catching hell now from two of my moms, which I'm thoroughly enjoying watching. Just sidebar, just letting you know. Hold on, let me. Why does it show? It showed I was live and now I'm not live. Where the fuck did it go? Hold on now. Trying to figure out where I'm at. Mm-hmm. It says I'm live. Where am I at? Yeah, hold on. Maybe the internet people are mad because I'm cussing so much. Hey Ash. Hold on, Ashley. Hold on, it's posting. Mm-hmm. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Let me calm down real quick. Let me just put this into perspective. I'm trying to help y'all. I thought y'all knew that, but I didn't know that you were of the mind frame that it was okay to dismiss parents who were being vocal about why Dr. Sauce is not the person that needs to be the permanent superintendent. I don't give a fuck about, like Kata, I don't give a fuck who you hang with. It's like that. I don't give a fuck who he was to you when he was a principal or a regional superintendent. I don't give a fuck about it. What I care about is what did he do when he was in the position to make some changes. And as far as myself and a whole bunch of mamas, as you're finding out right now on your own page, are concerned, he ain't done a damn thing. Put his head in the sand. He was told by Dr. Horton in 3 emails to contact me directly. Not once. I was on his fucking exceptional education panel. Did he contact me? No. Again, panels that I didn't ask to be on. Panels I was handpicked to be on by Devon Horton. The reason that I'm still here, the reason I'm a thorn in their side is because they can't quit me. Or maybe it's because I just have this really bad habit of seeing something and saying something. I don't know what it is. I don't really care, and I don't have to put a name to it. But what's not going to happen is shiny new object parents coming in who are only in elementary school just now realizing that this has been going on for 25 plus years. Do you know how this whole thing started? Do you understand that Nathan Deal inserted himself in 2013 and was it 13 or 15? I can't remember. One of the, it was right when I came in. He removed the board. Nathan Deal did that because the district was at risk of losing their accreditation. And he also removed CEO Thurman. That's how we got Stephen Green, the same guy that I helped the board fire, because Stephen Green was hiding all of the unethical things that teachers had been doing to children in DeKalb County. He was not reporting them. My child was one of those children that he was hiding the investigations on. I said that yesterday. Now you can choose to listen to me or not, but don't come in here acting like you know. Man, you maybe got like 2 years. 2 years into this. You're not going to come in here and talk to parents who've been doing this for a lot longer and say, that's just not our experience. We don't know what you're talking about. Like, we love him. Okay. Look, honeys, I have parents from your cluster emailing me already. They were sent my way yesterday. And they'll 100% tell you the same thing I'm telling you right now. So please understand this is taking place in your cluster and you're ignoring those parents. Those parents don't want to talk to you. They've already told me they don't care. We tried. They don't want to listen to us. Sounds really familiar. What I know to be true. My internet sucks today or yours? Is it mine that sucks or yours? Who's it sucking? Mine or yours? Shit, I'm plugged directly up into the damn hold on. Y'all got me all worried now. Is this shit all laggy on the outside or their side? It's running well over here. The fucks? Hold on. Hold on. Let me ask Ashley. If it's my internet, I know why. I have a VPN running, that's why. Um, I might be able to do some tricks like turn off. Hold on. Oh, it's so bad. No, my VPN's inactive. Oh, yep. See, it's that right now. Make it inactive for right now. We're just gonna roll off that and just stay on the Wi-Fi and see if it buffers out. Oh, okay, Ash, got it. Okay, well, no, yeah, I see that the main bitch is everything. Okay, so back on course. So, Dyslexia Awareness Month is in October. I hate it, with every fiber of my being. Nonetheless, I would be not doing anybody any favors by not informing the newbies in the district that are trying to drop all the receipts of what I do and what I've done and what I work, who, what, who, the who, what, when, where, why. All right. So usually in October we partake in this bullshit called the conference circuit here, and that would be things like the Reading League Conference or International Dyslexia Association or the IDA Conference, which is taking place in Atlanta, Georgia this week. Yeah. So typically I would be engaging with those people and or have panels. I don't have a panel this year on purpose. I don't, I speak nationally. I don't just stay in this little bubble of DeKalb County. Um, That's a lot of work and a lot of years of my work that I've had to sunset because of the neurotypical parents like yourselves, unfortunately, who make parents like myself and my friends feel like shit. Because we always have to justify why we're mad, why we're upset. We always have to justify why we sometimes don't get along with teachers and why we sometimes have negative things to say. We always have to justify everything. Why? Why don't y'all have to justify that you can't see anything other than what's in your direct vision and your purview? Have you ever asked a parent of a child that's on an IEP that you're friends with what it's like? I'm gonna bet that they're gonna tell you the same thing that I always said. It's lonely, it's miserable, and all you want is somebody to understand you. That's all you want. You just want to be able to meet people that understand you. And then in the event that you do meet those people, at least in the literacy space, those people turn out to be nothing more than 15 minutes of fame. They're only in it for them. They don't really care about the kids. They don't like getting their hands dirty. In fact, they use others' work to amplify themselves. Yeah, that's what we as parents of children with invisible disabilities deal with all the time. We are met with tone deaf bullshit, ableist discrimination to its core bullshit. And here's the thing, your connection stuttering? Is it any better now, Rachel? Shit, all my mamas are online. Hold on. My mamas are online. I love when my mamas are online. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to make it work. Let me see if there are things I can shut down. I can shut that. I went on my Wi-Fi thinking that it would help. Man, I don't really know. Let's see here, y'all. Is it any better, Rachel? Oh shit, I'd be buffering like a motherfucker over on Facebook. Hold on, y'all. I think it's like I said. Facebook has a problem today, and it's not. We'll go. Ah, but that's it. Hold on. Make active. And then I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna turn this bitch off. Oh, I'm coming in loud and clear and shambly. Thank you. Person that I'm not going to say out loud. Okay, that should be fixed. Anyway, um, it'll start working now. Okay, good God. Tell everyone to watch it on my Substack. Okay, like they give a shit. Ash, you already know that people don't give a shit. Oh my God. Ash, you're killing me. Hold on, let me see if I can get it. Damn, girl. You got me over here like, fine, fuck it, whatever. Okay, I'm going to send people over there, Ash. Just as an extra. Hold on. Ash, stop. I can't talk when you're blowing me up. Jesus fuck, lady. Okay, hold on. Hold on, you guys. I have to get back to where I was. Ashley, baby, fuck up. Blame it on Ash. If I go full shiny object syndrome, blame it on Ash. It's her fault. Okay. Hold on. Thanks, Ash. I think my Substack thing got posted. Hopefully, did it? It's posting. Yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah, there. If this is like stuttering or not stable for you guys here, you can go on Substack and watch it where it appears to be stable. Because I'm looking at my connection right now and it's not good. Hold on. Please hold. Please hold. I don't know what's going on here. I'm scared to plug this up because if I plug this up, then it's going to possibly fuck some stuff up. No, 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 no. I just need you to charge my phone, not do anything else. Hold on. Stop it! I've got too many of my friends are like telling me shiny y'all. I've got shiny object syndrome. You all know this. What the fuck are you doing to me right now? Okay. I'm gonna put it as the featured link. How about that, you guys? And will you leave me alone at that point if I put it as the featured link? Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Featured link. Add. Here we go. Paste. There. Put it in the comments, y'all. Done. It's in the comments. It's in the It ain't my fault. I don't know why it's being extra, but whatever. Y'all got me all fucked up and shiny object syndrome now. Okay, moving on. So I'm just getting back to what I was saying. I don't like doing outreach in October anymore. I don't like assisting anybody in the literacy space anymore. A lot of us are jaded. A lot of us who have been doing this for a decade really don't give a shit about anybody else's opinions anymore because we've been there, done that, and we're just happy that our kids are alive. Yeah, it's that fucking abysmal for our children. You know, the kids sitting in the classrooms with your kids who don't like to have any attention drawn to them, who will literally allow their eardrums to rupture but refuse to raise their hand because they feel like if they raise their hand, that's drawing attention to them, and then that's going to give their teacher even more ammo to call them out in front of their peers, which isn't a good thing because then that does something that like triggers a panic attack or a full-on meltdown. Yeah. Those kids sit in classrooms across the district every single day. When Ashley and I spoke at the Reading League panel, or the Reading League conference, our panel was about why parents needed a seat at the table. Because we've done everything we were supposed to do. And I really do need the neurotypical parents to hear me on this on behalf of my mamas who have dyslexic babies, on behalf of my mamas who are dyslexic that are fighting for their own dyslexic children who themselves have PTSD by proxy of just having dyslexia, who happen to be really high up in the atmosphere as it pertains to what they do for a living. Yeah, they do a lot more than y'all. Let's just say that their credentials are way higher. I mean, one of them, shit, she works with at MIT. The other one publishes cancer research papers. What do you do? Those two are the dyslexic ones. Um, so I don't like October. I don't like any of this shit. I don't like the literacy space. I hate it, but it is incumbent upon me to do, as I said at the Black Literacy Matters conference last year with Kareem, as I have said at everything when I've been given the opportunity to speak to individuals who could make a change in a child's life. It is incumbent upon me to make sure every single child in my state is afforded the right to learn to read. It's incumbent upon me to make sure every child in the country is afforded the right to read. This is not unique to Georgia nor to Cobb County. This is across the country. We're the wealthiest country, yet we have the highest illiteracy rate. You ever wondered about that? Probably not, because you're not in the habit of digging through data or looking at NAEP scores or looking at the abysmal milestone scores and digging through ghosted data like I do. And like a lot of my parents do. So when you have a district that's getting $120 million a year for a QBE allotment, which is just for the special ed kids, and they're not using any of it, and they're graduating children at the 85% graduation rate they bragged about, where only 68 or well, where 68% of those kids were illiterate. What the fuck are you doing? You don't celebrate those things. You check people on that, like the elected officials. See, what I've been watching is the lack of engagement and the lack of pressure being applied to local officials. Decatur is doing the right thing. Everything that needs to take place in DeKalb County needs to take place across the country. You all need to learn how to engage with elected officials that you elect to to do the job for your children to make life better for everyone. Um, Unfortunately, that's not what happens. Uh-oh, Kirk is going in, y'all. I'm sorry, you got my boy Kirk, man. Now I got Kirk. Ooh, see, yeah, yeah. Look, I have zero mercy for any of y'all. If y'all get Kirk going, you think I'm bad? Who do you think helped me navigate my way through DeKalb County? Kirk showed me where the bodies were buried and who buried them. Kirk was a former parapro in the district. Kirk has seen things he can never unsee. Kirk works with children who are traumatized by proxy of sitting in classrooms across this state and other states. He specifically deals with math trauma, but mainly a lot of that is just working with children who have trauma that was induced inside the classroom setting, trauma informed practices. Yeah. He's actually somebody that puts his gets his hands dirty. Yeah. So Kirk and I are more than just loud vocal parents in DeKalb County. Kirk and I both go out of our way to do things for kids and parents for free all the time. Because as I've always said, I don't ever want anybody to feel the way I felt. Kirk doesn't ever want anybody to feel the way he felt. Kirk doesn't want any child to be on the receiving end of the things that he had to work with and saw and reported, and it went on deaf ears. Invisible disabilities are there. Just because you can't see them doesn't diminish them, doesn't diminish the lived experiences of those people. I myself have invisible disabilities, if you haven't noticed. Outside of the PTSD that was induced by the district, I've also got ADHD. Really bad ADHD. Um, I've got crippling anxiety that I've had since I was a child. I've had insomnia since I was 8 years old. Um, recently I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder because unknowingly and unbeknownst to me, by proxy of advocating for the very children that had the same profile of my friends who are dead, I traumatized myself and I put myself into a state of constant depression. That's what I do. But I still wake up every day. I have my good times and my bad times. I go through every emotion possible. And then I immediately start going to work for kids that need help. Just like this giant community that you don't know about yet because you have only seen maybe third to fourth grade. You haven't made it to middle school yet. You've only had to deal with this for 3 years. I've had to deal with it for 11 years and counting. Rachel, the mama that you were telling her to have her give you her lived experience, she's been in this longer than me because of the grades. Or no, well, the same amount. Yeah, her son and my son are in the same grade, I think. Yep. No, he's a senior this year, I think. So maybe she's got 2 years on me. Um, the moms that pushed for literacy legislation in the state of Georgia, a bulk of those moms were DeKalb County moms because we knew how to fix it. We'd done it. already in DeKalb County Public Schools. We had unicorn principals and unicorn staff that wanted to teach children to read. And at all costs, they made sure that happened. And guess what? My son's school, with the principal who has been single-handedly retaliated against by the entire district more than anybody else in this district. Montgomery Elementary School, their scores have been higher than anybody else's scores every single year because we had a principal whose teacher said to her, "I'm scared to teach children to read. I don't know how to teach them to read." And Dr. Bowles took it upon herself to convince the PTO and the parents to use the fundraising money to train our staff in Orton Gillingham. In fact, to this day, if you want to work at Dr. Bowles Element, if you wanted to work at Montgomery Elementary School, you're going to be forced to take copious amounts of professional development. That's a requirement to work there. And you want to know what I find interesting? Everybody screams about turnover rates. Well, Dr. Bowles rarely has any turnover. Her teachers stay with her for a reason. They make a lot of gains in that school. I mean, they're not perfect. God knows. I mean, I put that school through hell and I got rid of some folks. But we've done a lot of work here in Georgia, and we've done a lot to make things better for kids in Georgia. Norman Sauce isn't the answer. He should have never been pitched. The AJC can kiss my fucking ass. Fuck you, Cassidy Alexander. This is for you specifically for writing that. Because you know better, Cassidy. You know better. I would even charge Martha Dalton at the AJC with this as well because Martha knows exactly how I feel. Because Martha actually interviewed me back in 2019 after I spoke at the board meeting. That was during dyslexia legislation. I was at the peak of it. And she came to my home and she looked at all of my IEP binders and she listened to everything. We talked for 2 hours. And then there's Marlon Walker. And then there's all the others who have known me for years. Nothing I did was because of y'all. Everything I did was for kids in this district. And for the moms in the district. And for the kids that were left behind. There's a documentary you all need to get familiar with. It's called Left Behind. Go watch. These are free documentaries. The Truth About Reading. Then you can go watch Left Behind, The Right to Read. I would say Hopeville. I don't know. That might be a little. I don't know. Hopeville was good for what it is. Um, there's a series of documentaries that came out, and then there's the podcast from Emily Hanford. You know, for all the neurotypical parents who are trying to figure out what the fuck I'm mad at and why I'm spiraling on you right now. Go listen to Sold a Story by Emily Hanford. Georgia's definitely included in that podcast. Former DeKalb County teachers were in a part of that podcast. And that specific teacher, Sherry, still has trauma because she knows that they didn't tell her what dyslexia was. And even though Sherry was asking all the right questions, nobody in the district would give her the appropriate answer. And she has nightmares, and she remembers their faces, and she is desperate, desperate for those kids to find her so she can just say something as simple as she's sorry. She didn't know. You're not going to dismiss the work that myself, along with others, have put in this state alone. The bulk of the moms, like I said, came from DeKalb County. Elena, she uses her kids in her PR videos for re-election. What the fuck is she talking about? Hold on. My husband. What the fuck is he talking about? Okay. Anyway, just do yourselves a favor, because I'm not going to do this much longer. I'm not going to do this at all, actually, because I don't need to be the person to say this shit repeatedly. But yet, I'm always the person that does it. You know why? Because everybody else, and it's not their fault, it's their level of comfort. I'm a bull in a china shop, or a disruptor, or whatever the fuck you want to call me. I've accepted my role in life. I'm a see something, say something person. I'm Southern, and I was raised to give a voice to the voiceless, and I was raised to make sure that I took care of people when I saw injustice. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care what your beliefs are. Wrong is wrong, right is right. That's all I care about. And if I see something wrong, I will go to insane lengths to hold people accountable for that. You can thank my mother for that, and my aunts for that. You can, I don't know, dare say, you can thank my father for that too. Because if you'd met me in real life, you know I'm 5'2". And yet, this little 5'2" mom who didn't graduate high school, but yet somehow found her way into an arena where most people don't even understand my fucking brain because it's so hard to water down what I do. I didn't graduate high school because I didn't fucking need to. I already knew what I wanted to be, and it had nothing to do with what I was being taught in school because I'd already learned. I was a Superior Court judge. I was his clerk by 16. A sitting Superior Court judge here in Georgia. I was his clerk. He was my mentor. I grew up in law firms. My mom was about to deploy for the FBI before she and my dad got married. So maybe that'll help you understand why I find it so offensive that you're asking my moms, specifically my moms, to explain. To explain to you why Dr. Sauce isn't the right choice in DeKalb County. Don't do that. You're diminishing lived experiences. We're not diminishing your lived experience. We're not diminishing what took place over at your school. But you have to understand what took place at your school is just another day in the park in DeKalb County. That's not new. If anything, that's like the most DeKalb County thing I've ever seen. Sorry. But yeah, we're kind of known for that kind of stuff. I mean, shit, I think we got $300 million still missing. So there's that. But, go do you. Go find all the messy stuff. Go post the stuff that you're posting. Yeah, based off of personal dealings with the individuals in this district, inside the district, who are still there, that I have been graced with. Based off of how they're behaving right now, just towards me alone. Y'all are gonna catch something real quick. I told you this yesterday, but if you continue to post things on your page that haven't been vetted and that are whispers and rumors and you don't have concrete evidence of, you're placing yourself in the line of fire, and you're placing your children in their crosshairs. I said that on purpose. I gave you a warning because I already know what they're going to do because they're doing it. They're already actively doing this. So, as much as Dr. Sauce loves y'all's attention, understand Dr. Sauce is going to kiss whoever's ass he has to kiss to get the job. That's how it works in DeKalb County, and that's how it works across the country. You ever wondered why people like, I don't know, Gavin Newsom spend all this time with his energy doing what he does right now, like with the Trump administration, yet the illiteracy rates in California are fucking horrible? Weird. Nope. He is a dyslexic and he's a Democrat, and they don't know what the fuck to do with education because teachers' unions make those decisions for them. You've got a lot of learning that you need to go through, and I'm not going to hold your hand. In fact, I'm going to tell quite a few people that they need to stop giving you information and or helping you vet anything because nobody helped me other than Kirk. I had to figure out how to navigate this district with Kirk and a board rep. And then I got really good at filing complaints. So much so I would be in IEP meetings and I would start filing complaints in the meeting based off of the stupidity that was coming out of individuals' mouths. Kirk can tell you that. He was inside some of those, well, he was inside one of the meetings where I had half the damn district inside of my child's IEP meeting. It was like a catered event. But at the root of all this, what pissed me off is you're dismissing people and their lived experiences. And I don't like that. And when you dismiss their lived experiences, especially if they're attached to me, I do what they won't do. I will say what needs to be said. And I will drag people to the ends of the fucking earth and back for people I care about. So don't do that again. Don't ask anybody to prove anything. You're wet behind the ears and you've just barely got your foot in this. Barely. Too many of us have taken one for the team. And too many of us have put ourselves in the line of fire for an entire district of parents who didn't want to say anything. That'd be me. Again. And out of respect for my attorney and out of respect for my mentor and my advocate, Brenda, I'm not going to go into the specifics of that. But going forward, do just as a whole, everybody stop diminishing people just because you don't have the same lived experience they have. For all you know, they could barely be making it in life. Right now, I'll be honest about mine. My family's on SNAP benefits. My husband's on unemployment benefits. And as of November 1st, those go away due to the government shutdown. And these things did not happen to us because of anything that my husband and I did. It's just how the economy works, and it's just at least in my case, I was on FMLA, and the company I worked for 10 years, which I'd never had an infraction with, I was in very good standing. While on FMLA, they fired me illegally. with no cause. And instead of doing what they should have done, they proactively went to the Georgia Department of Labor to block my ability to get any kind of help. But also, due to my PTSD being re triggered, I was put on orders. I wasn't allowed to drive. I was a hazard to people if I drove. If I got triggered because I have rage flares. So, like I said, you're all wet behind the ears in this district. I've got the diagnosis, I've got the scars to prove it, and these are the kind of things that don't go away. They can go dormant and then they come back whenever the fuck they want. Right now, my trigger is quite literally anything that my brain deems confrontational. So, just, I don't know. Maybe think about other people. Think about what other people are going through. There's a lot of parents who have a lot of questions, and there's a lot of parents who are hurting, and there's a lot of kids who are going to suffer because of what's taking place in this district. And those parents are being dismissed already. So do everybody a favor. Listen. And like I told you, anything you post, base it on facts. Base it on publicly available data. But as it pertains to me sending you anything, that's not gonna happen anymore. You gotta learn the same way I learned. You gotta learn the same way Kirk learned. You gotta learn the same way most of us learn. You gotta do that on your own. You gotta figure this shit out on your own. Because we're not gonna be here to help you all the time. I mean, shit, we love your energy. But now I'm like, y'all, nope. Because you showed how ableist you were, and you showed how easy it was to dismiss our kids because you didn't understand what the fuck it's like to have a child on IEP. Have you ever? I'm going to leave you with this, and this is just as for people in general. If you've never asked your friend who you rarely see at school events, and you see your friends fumbling around, like, and they're kind of standoffish, and you don't really understand why. If you've never asked that friend, hey, do you need help with something? What's going on? If you've never done that, stop making judgments. Stop being so quick to make a decision about who that person is. Because I promise you, that mom is breaking. That mom and that dad, they're breaking on the inside. They're watching their heart on the outside of their body go to a school that is inciting trauma in them every single day, and they can't stop it. From my son's mouth, when he was diagnosed with PTSD by proxy of DeKalb County, it's like repeating the scene of the crime every single day when my mom drops me off at school. I wake up every morning thinking about the worst case scenario. And the first person I see in the morning makes or breaks my day. My son said that at 10 years old. And what I didn't know yet was that my son had been having intrusive thoughts since the age of 9. Because he just wanted it to stop. He wanted his baby sister to have his fun mom that he didn't have anymore because all I got to do was fight. All I was allowed to do was fight. I spent every night fighting for him. I would go to work, I worked 40-hour weeks, I would come home, and then my second job would start. And everything I did was to prevent my child from repeating the past of what had been bestowed upon my sibling and so many others in my family. I was trying to prevent the same set of events from taking place with my son. And I thought I did it. until I found out he'd been having those intrusive thoughts since he was 9. He had made an elaborate plan to make sure I wouldn't be the one that found him. So my lived experience, the lived experiences of Rachel, the mom that you said, please tell us your story. I know, I know what her lived experience is with with her girls specifically. I was there. I've been there for a lot of parents. I've been the person that they call and they cry to. So your 15 minutes of fame, enjoy it. Because you just got a reality check from me. The last person you want to be on the radar with. You don't want to be in my crosshairs. I want you to do this the appropriate way and the right way, but you're not going to dismiss these people who have been doing this far longer than you. You don't have things that are unique. Like I said, DeKalb is going to DeKalb. What happened at your school happens every day across the district. God forbid you're black and you're in South DeKalb. I have literally watched, or I've literally, like, just, I'm not even going to relive that. I don't even want to put that into the ether. But the things that I know that they have done, just because a mom dared to ask a question, that mom was met with cops and handcuffs. Meanwhile, I was allowed to cuss a superintendent or cuss a principal and assistant principal out with a cop standing there laughing. So just remember that. A lived experience. Keep that in your brain. Don't diminish others' lived experiences. You have no idea what's going on behind the scene in their lives. I don't pretend to know what's going on in your lives. I tend to navigate life that way. I find out whenever you want me to find out, but I treat you as a human. I treat you well, and I don't make judgments on you. But, the days of us being civil and having civil discourse are long gone, which is sad because that's what I do best. That's what my friends and I do best. We like to debate everything. Our children's education is the number one thing we love to debate. And I promise you, between myself and my friends, we could probably run the district more efficiently than the people that are making upwards of $500,000 a year in the district. Because between my friends and I, we've got the IT background, we've got contract background, we've got research background, we've got ample, um, in one of my friends' cases, we've got ample knowledge of how to work with children inside brick and mortar schools as it pertains to their mental health and everything. Yeah, no, we could probably do this on our own without the one or without the $3 billion piggy bank that DeKalb County has. So it's 12:30. I'm gonna go eat lunch. Enjoy your day. I hope this resonates with you, and I hope that you go forth and you make decisions based off of facts, based off of the fact that you don't understand their lived experience. And until that person is ready to give you their lived experience, um, there's Karin. I know, Ash. um, I just saw the comments, so there's Ash and Karin and everybody. Like, you have to understand, like, just do better. Be better humans. That's all you have to do. Don't wake up and choose stupid every day. Don't do that. Please, God, don't be that. We've got enough of those people in DeKalb County. Do not be another one of them. Just wake up and be a good human. And wake up and remember that your life of being able to be the PTA mom is not the same for everybody in your school, not even your neighbors. Because people with children with invisible disabilities spend a lot of time hiding because we don't have anybody we can talk to about it because nobody understands. So we're typically people that are extremely lonely, but very well versed in things that you'll never have to be well versed in. I can quote federal law and OCGA from memory now. I can give you the CFR. I can give you the. Never mind. I'm not even gonna get into that shit. I can rattle off a whole bunch of shit that's going on in this district right now that falls under some CFR codes that folks would be like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. But yeah, be better. Okay, do better, and don't ever ask my moms to justify shit ever again. Okay. Thanks. I appreciate that. Have a good day.